Hello and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, your host, and the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Volunteer Randy Cooper is out today on a little vacation, so joining us today is Admin Specialist Aspen Tressler. She's helping us out today as our animal wrangler. And our first guest today is Oreo, and he is a love bug. He is a 2-year-old pit bull mix. And he obviously was well named for his black and white coloring, and he is just super sweet. He's very well mannered. He's enjoying playing with his toys. He walks nicely on the leash. He knows a lot of different tricks. He knows sit, he knows paw. He even kind of wants to jump up and give you hugs so that he can work for those treats. He is just a very sweet dog. We have done a behavior assessment on him like we have done on all of our animals that hit our adoption floor. He has no issues with food aggression. He is very friendly. He will give up objects when you ask for them. He leans in and really enjoys to be being petted. He walks nicely on his leash. He's easy to obtain. He has no reactions with other dogs except for big dogs, which he seems to be a little bit afraid of. So he's just got a really sweet personality and temperament. We're hoping that we're able to find him a home as soon as possible. We do test all of our dogs that come in for heartworm, Lyme disease, ehrlichiosis, and anaplasmosis. He tested positive for ehrlichiosis, so you want to make sure that before you are making the decision to take Oreo home and make him part of your family, that you understand what that means and you talk to your vet and do a little research so that you know that you're willing to take on that medical problem that he has. But otherwise, he is very friendly. His previous owner says that he walks well, rides well in the car. So he's got a lot of wonderful things going for him. And he's going to make a great dog for any family. If you're interested in adding Oreo to your family, you can stop in and visit him at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We're located at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our next guest is another happy little pit with a pitty smile and a wagging tail. This is Grace, not to be confused with Gracie. We have two dogs on the floor, Gracie and Grace. This is Grace. She is an 11-month-old pit bull mix, and so because she is still a puppy, she would be adopted through our puppy process. That means we take up to 4 applications for her, and then we choose the best fit for her, looking at someone who's going to be willing to train her and give her all of those things that she needs to become a nice, well-rounded adult dog. The adoption fee for puppies is $150. That includes all of the normal care that we provide, spaying and neutering, microchipping, rabies vaccine county license, other preventative vaccines, other preventatives in general, dewormer, flea and tick preventative, free well visit to the vet, all that stuff. Grace is a very, very affectionate dog. She loves to cuddle. She wants to be a lap dog. She does have a high energy level, so that's something that you need to be taking into consideration when you're thinking about adding her to your family. But it's a good thing that she has that high energy and she wants to get out and run and exercise because she is a little overweight. So she would need to go on a diet and an exercise plan to get her down to a healthy weight for her. She is, again, very friendly. She wants to be a lap dog. Her previous owner brought her into us because she wasn't getting along with the other dog in the home. It was most likely that the other dog was initiating those disputes, but because they had the other dog for longer, they brought Grace to us so that we could find her a better home. So if you're interested in making lovable Grace part of your family, if you want to hear all those squeaks all day and they're going to make you smile and brighten your day when you get home after a long, hard day, you can visit Grace here at Frederick County Animal Control. We are open 6 days a week, and we would love to have you stop in and visit with Grace. Our next guest is Thelma, and she is a red tick coonhound. She came to the shelter as a stray during the month of May, and she is very sweet, very affectionate, but she's also very shy. Thelma came in with her sister Louise. They were both, again, strays. They were likely to be hunting dogs who had probably never lived in an indoor home. They probably lived in an outdoor kennel. So these guys, everything is kind of brand new for them. So Thelma seems to be the more confident of the two, but both Thelma and Louise will need somebody to really work with them on house training, something that they've never had to do before, walking on a leash, other basic commands, sit, stay, those types of things. They do like treats, as most dogs do. They don't really seem to, in my observation of them, engage with a lot of toys, but they're perfectly happy to be petted and loved on. They like to cuddle. They cuddle up together. So since we will not be adopting them out together as a set, both Thelma and Louise are gonna be looking for a human cuddle buddy. So if you want to snuggle, that would be a great addition to your family. They are coonhounds, so they do bark. They do. Their nose catches everything, as you can see right now. She's, very into all the different smells and of all the other animals that have been on this rug, and that's what she's going to do. So it's really important for you to get her walking nicely on that leash, and so that you can control her, because when hounds get that scent, they are kind of one-track mind. Training would be a very great thing for both Thelma and Louise going forward. But again, they're very affectionate. They have progressed greatly since they've been here with us. Both of them had never really walked on a leash before. They are walking very nicely on the leash. They are happy to greet visitors, where before they were very skittish and would run off. So they're making great progress here. But we want to make sure that they continue making great progress in their families when they find new adoptive homes. If you're interested in adopting Thelma and giving her the life of a nice indoor dog that she deserves, you can stop in and visit her here at Animal Control. Our hours of visiting in our kennels are going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 10 to 5, Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 8, and Saturday from 10 to 4. And this is Louise. This is Thelma's sister. Again, they were brought in together in May as strays. And now we're looking to find them separately their forever homes, because they have so much learning to do. They are a bit of a handful together. So we will be adopting them to their each individual new homes. All of the things that we talked about for Thelma are true of Louise. Right now, Louise is a little shyer than Thelma is. She doesn't walk as nicely on the leash yet, but again, still a ton of potential, very affectionate. And another thing that's important to know about these two dogs is that they both tested positive for Lyme disease. So when animals come into the shelter and they test positive, which happens quite frequently, unless they are actively showing symptoms of that illness, we're not treating them for that. These guys were actively showing those signs, so they were being treated for that here in the shelter. Again, that's something that you want to talk to your vet about to make sure that you're able to take on that responsibility of that illness. We don't want anyone to take on an animal that they then feel like they can't afford or handle that, whether it's a medical issue or a behavioral issue, and then they have to bring the animal back. That's stressful for the animal, it's stressful for the family. So we want to make sure that everyone's understanding all of that before they get started in the process. She is a little bit fearful of things. She was fearful of the squeaky toy. So she's gonna, as I mentioned before, just a lot of learning. Everything is new to them. But if you give them a little bit of patience, they'll show you how truly wonderful and affectionate they are. And they can be trained to be the dog that you want them to be. You just have to be willing to give them that time. They are again, kind of like project dogs, both Thelma and Louise. They have made great progress in the time that they've been here with us. But for them to really, truly make all of the progress that they need someone who's willing to train them, either whether you're seeking help from a professional trainer or just doing it on your own, and someone who's really going to be patient with them and understanding that, you know, they've never had to worry about going outside to go to the bathroom because they were already outside. They didn't really need to know how to sit. They needed to know how to do other things. So as long as you're willing to give them the time that they need, they're going to make great members of the family because they are so sweet, so affectionate, and they're just loves, and they're looking for someone to provide them with unconditional love. If you're interested in either Thelma or Louise, you can visit us here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. The adoption fee for both of these dogs would be $92.50. Our last guest before the break is an unusual one. We get animals of all kinds here at Frederick County Animal Control, not just cats and dogs. We get anything that's a domesticated animal. And our last guest before the break is a domesticated duck. This is a Peking duck. This is Willow. We often find strays out in City Park. This is where she came from. So we are housing her here until we find her a new family, just like we would any of our other adoptable animals. One of the differences about her is that she is not in an area on the adoption floor where people can see her. If you are a serious adopter and you're interested in adding a domesticated duck to your family, you can stop in and ask about her and she will be shown to you, but random visitors are not able to come and see her. Peking ducks are domesticated ducks. They are not like the wood ducks or the mallard ducks that you would see out when you're walking around. They do require care from people. Because they are so friendly, they have become a lot of people are taking them in as pets. They are known primarily for laying eggs and being meat ducks. However, when you adopt an animal from Frederick County Animal Control, she is to be your pet. She can lay eggs for you. She can, you know, be a companion. They often will follow you around like a dog would, but you cannot use her for your dinner. That is a big no-no if you're adopting ducks, chickens, or any of the like here from us at Frederick County Animal Control. People often say that Donald Duck is made after a Peking duck, and also the Aflac mascot, the Aflac duck, is also a Peking duck. So these guys can live to be 9 to 12 years old. We only have her listed as an adult. We're not exactly sure how old she is, and we're also calling her a female, but we haven't really sexed her. It can be hard to sex these ducks because for a lot of different reasons. So we're kind of making the assumption for right now that she's a girl, but that's something that an adopter could take on and find out 100%. We have adopted ducks out in the past. This would be at least the third duck that I'm aware of that we've had and we're going to adopt out. So if you're interested, you have the appropriate space for her, you know, places for her to roam, places for her to have access to water and swim. Please stop in and let us know. We can give you any and all additional information that we have about her. So that's going to wrap it up for this portion of the show. We come back after the commercial break. We will have 5 cats that are looking for their new forever homes here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center.
Transit services of Frederick County. With rising gas prices, transit is a less expensive way to work or school. Most commuter bus routes run every 30 minutes during weekday morning and afternoon rush hours. Bus stops are within a quarter mile of most businesses in downtown Frederick. Transit offers shuttles to Thurmont, Emmitsburg, Brunswick, Jefferson, Spring Ridge, and Route 85, or take a shuttle to the MARC train for an easy commute. Find out what nearly 1 million passengers already know. Transit connects people and places.
Our first cat guest is David. He is a very handsome cream tabby. A lot of people will confuse him and just say he's an orange tabby. When you're looking at that orange tabby mix, it's going to come in 3 kind of shades. It's going to come in the lightest shade, which is cream, and then the one in the middle is actually orange, and then the darker shade, they're red tabbies. And David is one of those cream tabbies. He is a very handsome guy. He's got some great markings on his tail. Another thing that makes David very unique is that he's polydactyl, which means he's got the little boxing gloves or the mittens, and a lot of people love that feature. It's just a genetic thing. It doesn't hurt him. He's one of 2 polydactyl cats that we have on the floor right now. He's on our front side, and then on the back side of the adoption floor, we have another polydactyl cat, Tortie, named Precious. So that's a lot of, just an interesting feature that makes your cat a little bit more distinctive than some of the others. He also has some dew claws on his back feet that you need to make sure that you keep trimmed and keep an eye on, so that those things don't cause an issue for him down the line. He is one of our adult cats, so because it is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, he would be going home for that extra $20 off his adoption fee, which would make his fee to go home $77.50 instead of the normal $97.50. So that fee includes neutering him, which we will do before he's adopted, microchipping him, giving him his rabies vaccination, his county license, his distemper vaccine, flea and tick preventative, dewormer, that microchip again, a free well visit to the vet. So you're going to get a lot for that price. Just the vet visit on its own would be more expensive. So it's a great adoption fee, and you really just can't beat the price. David is very affectionate. He will ask for attention. He's a bit of a talker here in the shelter, but once volunteers come up and give him the love that he's been asking for, he calms down quite quickly. Volunteers describe him as a cuddle bug, but it is something where he's a little bit nervous in new places. So when you're bringing an animal into a new home, you want to make sure that you're giving all of them the appropriate length of time to settle in. We ask that you give any animal that you adopt from us 60 days before making any decisions about whether or not to keep them in your home. So if you're interested in bringing David home, again, stop by and visit him here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We will be glad to set up a meeting between you and David. Our next feline guest is Crystal, and she is one of the rare blue cards. We color code all of our animals that make their way to the adoption floor, and the blue cards are going to be the most in love with people, the most affectionate, the most calm, the most well-behaved. And I have personally visited with Crystal, and I can attest that she is all of those things. She's a little bit shy, but once someone stops by and visits with her, she is ready to be cuddled with and loved on, and she has got one of the loudest purrs. So she rubs right up against you and shows you what she wants. You can kind of do whatever you need to do with her. You know, we hadn't given her a bed yet, so she was hanging out in her litter box, as most of the cats do when they first come on the floor. They're a little scared, and you know, you can just pick her up, put her right in the bed, and then she was like, oh, this is nice. This is a little bit better. She's very sweet. There are a ton of good things that we can say about Crystal. She was previously owned, however, her owner did not provide us with a profile. So all of the things that we're learning about her, in real time while we're here working with her before she finds her new forever home. When we don't have a lot of information on a profile for an animal, the volunteers are a great resource. Many of the volunteers come in and interact with these animals very frequently, so they have an idea of their personalities, things they like, things they don't like. So they can give you an indication, even sometimes better than the staff, on how the animals are behaving and whether it will be a good fit for you. The staff spend a lot of time providing the basic care for the animals and don't always have that time to cuddle with them and love on them and play with them the way that they would like to, because they're busy feeding and medicating and cleaning and doing all of those very important tasks. Crystal is a little bit overweight. Somebody who is looking to take her home would be needing to consult their vet about what kind of a diet she needed to be on so that we can get her down to a healthy weight. It's important for all of our pets to be in that healthy weight range, which can vary from vet to vet because we want to make them healthy and happy for as long as we possibly can. As you can see, Crystal is very content being a lap cat, but she's still curious about what's going on around her. She's looking around. She's kind of wanting to get down, but it doesn't seem like she's trying to hide, really. It seems like she's inquisitive and wants to know what's going on. So again, if you're interested in adding a super calm, relaxed, lovable feline to your family, stop in and visit with Crystal here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Animals make their way to the shelter for all kinds of reasons, and Fel made his way here because he was not getting along with the other cats in the home. He prefers to be an only cat, the king of the castle. So if you're thinking about adding him to your home, you want to make sure that you have, he's going to be the only cat in your home so that he can be happy and your other animals can be happy as well. He is a very handsome guy. He is a Seal Point, long-haired Siamese mix. He is gorgeous. He's got those great blue eyes. He is very striking. But you want to make sure that if you're taking on Fel, that you're willing to take on all the things that come with a cat such as he is. Siameses tend to be a little more vocal, so they're chatty and they like to talk, and because of his longer fur, he is going to need a lot of grooming, a lot of maintenance there. We've gone ahead and cleaned up a lot of the mats that he had. We clipped those out. Fortunately for him, we didn't have to completely shave him down. We were just able to clip those small things out. And we removed some ticks from him as well. Cleaned up some flea dirt. So it's important to make sure that you're definitely grooming your longer haired cats. They need to be brushed. If they're going inside, outside, they need to have flea and tick preventative, and you need to be checking them for ticks just like you would your dogs to keep them nice and healthy. He is a very affectionate guy. He is another one of our blue card animals. So very sweet, very calm, very affectionate. He just kind of lounges in his cage all day. But that is something, again, he wants to be the only cat in your home. Siameses typically don't last very long. They get adopted very quickly. We had 2 on the floor this week, and one of them went the second day that she was on the floor. So if you're interested in adopting Fel, it's important to come in as soon as possible because it's likely that someone else will have already adopted him. On our Facebook page, we always post the adoptable animals, and we also let you know when they're in the process of being adopted. And we do the same on our Pet Tango site. To see all of our adoptable animals as they become available, you can visit pettango.com/FCAC. This is Smokey, and she is a 1-year-old, so she's a little younger than some of the other cats that we've had on the show today. She is a gray domestic short hair. She is one of the shyer cats on the shelter floor right now. Even though she's being very kind of curious and inquisitive, looking around right now, a lot of the times when you walk past her cage on the adoption floor, you will find her hidden somewhere. She likes to hide under her hammock. She likes to hide under her rug. There's a great picture that one of the kennel techs took of her, and that's on our Instagram page, where you can just see the little bump and then her face is sticking out underneath the rug. So sometimes you kind of have to look a little harder in the cages for the animals, but it's always worth it. The reward is there. Some of the cats that maybe aren't meowing at you like David or reaching out for you, so many of the kittens, those are going to be the pets that are actually more suited for the lifestyle that you have and are going to be the ideal pet for you. But often they're overlooked. The gray and the black cats can sometimes be hard to see in their cages anyway because of the coloring of the cage. But just take that time to look in and investigate all of the animals that are available for adoption, and don't pass by these some of these shyer animals, because as you can see, she's still very inquisitive. She's very sweet. She's looking up at Aspen with those adoring eyes. She's happy to be petted. So they all have these great qualities. Some of them are just don't like to be the center of attention. If you are interested in adding Smokey to your home, the process would be you come in and you look around and see if she is in fact the cat you're interested in. You check to make sure that she is available for adoption. We only take 2 applications for each of our cats, and then we choose the best of the 2, the best family for the cat. Then you would read her profile. And if you're okay with everything that you've read in that profile, then you would be able to visit with her outside of the cage, get to know her a little bit better, and make that decision on whether or not you want to actually fill in an application. It takes 2 to 5 days for all of our applications to be processed. Smokey was previously owned. She's been around other cats. She's been around dogs. They say that she's very friendly, energetic. She's calm. She can be a lap cat, but again, they are noting that she has those kind of fears of loud noises, and she can be a little bit nervous. So it just means that you're going to be patient with her when she's getting acclimated to your new home. But again, if you're interested in visiting with her, you can stop by the shelter and then follow those procedures, and hopefully we can introduce you to your new forever pet. The last cat that we're showcasing on today's show is Judy, and she is a love. I can hear her purring from across the set. She's loving all of the attention that she's getting. She is a petite little girl at just 5 pounds 15 ounces, but she is actually an adult cat. We have her listed as 4 to 5 years old. She came to us as a stray, but she has definitely been in a home before because she is incredibly affectionate. You will notice that she has a tipped ear. So most people tip the ears to let people know that feral cats that have been spayed or neutered are in fact spayed or neutered. But a lot of vets are also doing that now just as a way to identify that. It's similar to the fact that when we spay and neuter here in-house, we give all of the female cats who are spayed little tattoos so that we can see if they come back in the future that they have been in fact spayed. So that's just another way to identify that yes, these animals have been altered. Again, a lot of times they are the animals that are in the feral cat colonies, but Judy is very, very affectionate. So she has been loved at some point in her life. Even though she is an adult at 4 to 5 years old, she exhibits a lot of kitten behavior. She's very, very playful, but she's also very affectionate. She just wants to climb on your lap and walk around all over you and rub up against you and be snuggled and loved. And we are hoping to find her a family where she can get all of those things. She is also very inquisitive. She's always looking around. She kind of wants to get into stuff. She can't really decide whether she wants to be petted and get lots of love or whether she wants to get down and explore. So she's got a great personality, and we are hoping that we can find her a great new home to spend the rest of her life in here during Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. So if you're interested in adding one of these amazing adults to your home, stop in and visit with them here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. We hope that you'll tune in next week where we're going to introduce you to 10 more of our animals that are looking for new homes here at the shelter.